Hello and welcome everybody, my name is Aaescii and this is King of Dragon Pass, a game from 1999 if I'm not mistaken, so it's quite old. I actually found out about it not that long ago. I was browsing Paradox Plaza forums and I was looking at a bunch of old after action reports on Crusader Kings 1, the original, and one of the people that I was reading, this Polish guy I think, he did a after action report on this game and it was pretty brief, but I read it and it was pretty fucking cool. And I actually, you know, like after playing Paradox games for so many years, about 6 or so years, I can't believe that I hadn't seen this game before. I mean, it's not a Paradox game, but it's just as in depth, if not more, in some ways. So, King of Dragon Pass is a tribe management game, I guess. You manage a clan, and the aim is to become King of Dragon Pass, like in the name. And you've got the title screen picture here, which is actually pretty cool, but it's like also pretty generic 80s fantasy looking thing, like the sort of thing that you'd see on the early Warhammer Fantasy covers, box covers and stuff. But the actual game is a bit more down to earth, I've found. So we're going to jump in for a new game, and I'm going to read all of this stuff despite my voice sounding really shitty. So, there was once a time when gods and people walked the earth together. Your clan traces its ancestry back to these times. Your clan history begins when you join the forces of the storm god Orlanth. Yes. Back then, Orlanth was simply one of many upstart, rebellious gods bent on the conquest of the world. Orlanth's unique contributions at that time were personal honour and a close kinship to other deities who seemed to be on the winning side. So a bit of an opportunist. After many tribulations, adventures and discoveries, Orlanth proved himself worthy of marrying Elnada, I don't know how to say that properly, the Earth Mother. The two of them created the marriage ring and established great harmony in the world through this sacred bonding. Your clan took part in the wedding ceremony. Most clans either whooped with Orlanth or learned a secret from Elnada. A few clans stood with Elmal, god of horses and the sun, as an honor guard. How did you prepare for the great marriage? I think we're going to take a very sort of like warlike stance with this, I reckon. Be like on a scale of the only way I can think of putting this is in like Song of Ice and Fire terms. Like on a scale from Summer Islanders to Ironborn, we'd probably be up by Ironborn because I'm a bit of a nerd for the Ironborn. So we're gonna be horrible and do that. So yeah, I think what we'll pick for this one, because Orlanth is like sort of a war god, which is what I've gathered. I've done a quick playthrough of this just before to get to grips with some of the stuff of it. So although he's a war god and stuff, that's more about getting drunk, the second option. So I think we'll go for the first one because that seems more warlike. So I'm putting great thought into this. Orlanth's struggle to remake the world was just beginning, and many other gods joined him in it. Orlanth undertook many wars of conquest. Other more peaceful deeds were just as important. So these are all, so you got a hunt, the 100-day hunt. So this is hunting, this is like diplomacy, I'm guessing. This is about animal management, about ploughing. So I'm guessing this is about magic, hidden palace and secrets. The knowing god, so knowledge, maybe magic at the same time as well, I don't know. Pottery, so I don't know, that's grain, food. Clan making dance, I'm not sure what that would do, but the top one right here, so the Battle of Extinguished Field, when Orlanth's forces defeated those of his worst enemy, Yom the Bright Emperor. That seems pretty warlike, so let's go with that. Orlanth succeeded in remaking the world and thus began a golden era called the Storm Age. Orlanth's son Vincot was a famous warlord during this time. Most of the people in this era were amongst his followers. Many people who would not have survived joined his tribes. He was a great organizer and helped the many scattered people form into new clans and tribes. Your clan was one of those aided by King Vincot. You proved yourselves robust and capable of survival. Vincot placed the remnant people, so after you proved yourself, under your protection. They were the Nordabin, or stick farmers. You had a choice whether to make them into thralls or adopt them as members of your clan. Well, if we're modelling ourselves after the Ironborn, thraldom is a pretty, vital part of it. So, this picture makes me feel really sad for them because they, look all sad and poor and stuff. But, yeah, they're slaves. We have slaves. Yeah. We do not so. Except when we do. So, the foes of the Vincotlings were many. Your people fought hard against them. Which one of them in particular did you fight? So we've got Botsakang, the Troll Lord, Ukagra, king of the Basmoli Beastmen, Chinkismor, the Elf Warlord, Tata the Green, champion of the Flatland called Prax. Oh, that sounds like Mongolian sort of steppe sort of thing, Turkic. Faralinthor, salty lord of the sea. Vestvenna, son of Valind, warlord of the Ice Tribe. Well, if I can remember my Ironborn lore correctly, they've got the Drowned God, who fought the Storm God, and that's like the main deal with their religion. Sort of like the Zoroastrian fire god and the god of darkness and stuff, and they're always in conflict, and that's also sort of with the R'hllor or whatever in A Song of Ice and Fire as well. So probably the closest thing we could get to that. I know we were saying we're gonna model this after the Ironborn, but it seems more and more we're just trying to insert them into the game, so we may as well roll with it now. So the closest thing we can get is fighting the salty Lord of the Sea. So get owned, kid. The Storm Age ended in disaster when the gods and creatures of chaos came and destroyed nearly everything. Orlanth and his allies fought hard against them, but chaos almost always won. Catastrophes shook the world, such as the Sunfall, the Rain of Blood, and the terrible Laughing Tsunami. In this era, many gods died, and many new ones rose to prominence. The darkness got so bad that even Orlanth and his companions had to abandon humans to their own destiny. Only a few deities, either small ones or weak ones, remained at all. The world stagnated and died. Your clan, whatever its previous glory, was diminished to a ragged handful of hardy survivors. So it's sort of a Dark Ages post-apocalyptic thing going on. Heort the King was the leader who emerged during the turmoil of the darkness. The combined efforts of Heort and his companions helped set the world in order again. He created the laws that we follow to this day. One of the great distinctions which Heort discerned among his clans was that some of them tended towards either peace or war, while others maintained a balance between these two principles. Which kind was your clan? Well, obviously that's going to be war, isn't it? We're very nice people. Finally, the sun rose again, while the rest of society worked to protect itself, find food, or otherwise just survive. Sorry, I'm really tripping on these words. The first priests worked to re-establish links with ancient deities. Thanks to this new harmony between people and deities, the world slowly improved. Once the awakening process has begun, it got easier and went quicker as the gods helped wake each other up. Who was the first deity which your clan helped awaken? So we can go with no, ancestors are good enough, living deity, either Elmar, the loyal Thane, Vrox, the Storm Bull, Adela, the hunter, and Oda, the mother goddess, Orlanth, the father, Aaescii is a talking god, Lankor Mai, the knowing god, Kalana Arroy, the healing goddess, and Uralda, the cow mother. So I think our first decision we went with Elmal, who is the god of horses and the sun. And then we also sided with Orlanth with the Extinguished Field battle. Well, given that Orlanth seems to be the most important, I'd say that we would have gone with him. Things have been different since the dawn, 1300 years ago. Orlanth and the other gods retreated from the world, leaving it to the mortals. Sorry, I'm gonna try and finish this as quickly as possible. I know you want to see the game. You can still contact the gods through rituals and sacrifice, or enter their realm by reenacting the great stories about their deeds, which contain great magic. But they no longer walk beside you. When you settled in a new place, you marked this great change in the world by naming your land not after a god, but after a mortal like yourselves. You called it Heortland, in honor of the king who taught you how to survive during the darkness. Tips, Trilby. About 600 years ago, a dragon approached you, in either its own form or that of a human with a dragon soul inside it. The dragons had always been hostile, or at very best utterly uncaring. Orlanth has always been the dragon slayer. After appropriate debate, you had to choose whether to believe the dragon, to cooperate and learn to do what dragons know, or to refuse the dragon and maintain neutrality, or to actively oppose the dragon's plans. So Orlanth was dragon slayer, and we're very angry people, so we fought them. Oh yes, that does look like a tasty sight. Most of the people who said yes to the dragons moved to Dragon Pass, a land to the north of your home, Heortland. You stayed in Heortland, and it was a good thing too, for a little over 200 years ago the dragons rose up and ate everyone who lived in Dragon Pass. They ate the Orlanthi along with all the other foolish human dragon friends. For a long time, no humans went to Dragon Pass. Everyone was sure that the dragons would eat them too. Recent events in Heortland made you think twice about the abandoned land of Dragon Pass. A generation ago, a usurper who called himself the Pharaoh came to Heortland and started a civil war. Your clan was one which broke into these disputes, sometimes violent, about whether or not to support the Pharaoh. In the end, your group of dissidents decided that it would be better to risk the dangers of Dragon Pass than to stay and kill your own kin, which is the greatest sin an Orlanthi can commit. The dissidents, unable to live under the Pharaoh, would move northward to Dragon Pass. People of similar beliefs from other clans had already made the same decision and settled lands there. So you made a new clan and made it a war clan, just as your ancestors had done in the days of King Heort. Good stuff. Your new clan made the dangerous trek to Dragon Pass and selected a place to live. Like the other Orlanthi refugees from Heortland, you settled in Quiviniland, a mountainous area to the southeast quadrant of Dragon Pass. You would call these lands your home, your Tula. Tradition required you to make a formal land claim. I've honestly got no idea what this does. I'm guessing it's like a difficulty slider. So I'm guessing that's like easy, so like really easy, and that's like easy, and that's like medium, and that's like hard. So I'll probably go medium, more than we need, but enough to grow into. I'm really not sure. Okay, your clan history. So we stood guard with Elmal at the marriage of Elnada and Orlanth. We fought with Orlanth at the Battle of Extinguished Field against the Yellow Emperor. We took the stick farmers as thralls. Our ancient enemy is the Salty Lord of the Sea. We are a war clan, and we first awakened Orlanth when, the thing happened. Our attitude towards dragons was hostile, and fought with them a lot. And we have more land than we need to grow into. Oh wait, so here's the difficulty level. I'm not sure what that does. If anybody knows what that does, just let me know. That might be useful if I ever do like another campaign or something. But we'll go average game length. Forge a tribe from the other clans. Have a clan leader elected king and keep the kingship for 10 years. Have your clan leader become king or queen of Dragon Pass. First forge other clans into a tribe, then unite the tribes into a kingdom. Yeah, we'll go with the second one. Clan name Mule Deer. Try something different. Lorstadt. I guess that would do. That sounds... I'm guessing this game's like... It has a very like Germanic like pantheon theme to it, so I'll just go with something that seems sort of Germanic sounding. I think Stad means city in German, which isn't really suitable if we're talking about a clan, but whatever. So here we go. So last year we built a clan hall, some steads and a shrine to Elmol, but when we left Heartland we lost much of our connection with the gods. So we have new friends, or the same friends and enemies in this place, and it's time for the annual allocation of our clan magic. And here we get to see our advisors. So we've got Markalor, Orlanth, Lismelda, Randella, Ordag, Genera, and Endol. Okay, so he says, we have not honoured the clan deity by performing the hero quest. Elmol guards the steed. We've performed no hero quest. Alright, wait, so this guy is an Orlanthi worshipper, so he's a chief. He is excellent leadership. Everything seems in order. He is a Landcore Landcore my worshipper, so he's a knowledge. So he's our customs keeper, I guess. So we have perform no hero quests. Allocating magic to crops may help stave off the ill omen for barley. She's very good at bargaining, and she worships Ermal. So is that... Oh, so it must be a different... Huh, I don't remember which god that was. Randella, don't allocate anything. Our stockpiled magic is inadequate. So we've only got 7. I think last time I had about 9? Or maybe I'm not remembering things properly. I'm probably not remembering things properly. So she worships Eurolda, the cow goddess. So she's best with animals, it seems. Or Dag. It's easier keeping people healthy than trying to cure them later. I think we should allocate 2 to health magic and conserve a few points in case we need to call in Kalana Arroy during the year. Yeah, come on. There we go. So, he's a Kalana Arroy worshipper, and he is very good in leadership. So do we have any other... come on. So do we have any other Orlanth worshippers? Onalda, Elmal, sheesh. This guy's the only one that worships our chief deity. So allocate 1 to crop magic. Our herds are also important, so leave 1 for them. Leave some magic available in case we need to call on the earth goddesses. Keep at least 1 point of magic in reserve in case... Okay, so I do agree with that. We need to keep some reserve. So he reckons 2 to health magic, 1 to crop magic. I'm definitely going to put like... Let's put 2 towards war because we're a war clan and that would make sense. So let's put 1 to health. Where is it? Crops. Is there any other magic to crops? Okay, so I'm guessing this is for helping us with hero quests, which these 2 made a point of noting. So yeah, our god talkers say that it's indicate a typical harvest. Our barley crop may not come up at all, so she was saying about putting it towards crops to help with that. So we will.